Today I'm so excited to share with you one of my favorite Christmas recipes, gingerbread cinnamon buns. To start, you need 3/4 of a cup of warm water, 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, half a cup granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. You can just stir this together, or if you have a mixer, you can use your mixer. You're going to stir that all up and you're going to allow it to proof for about 5 minutes. Which means it's going to froth up. If your yeast and the water don't froth up, then the yeast is no longer active. You need to start over with fresh yeast, or else this recipe is not going to work. We're now adding in 1/4 cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 1 egg, and 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil. Now, I liked 2 tablespoons of molasses in this recipe. That was the perfect amount. If you don't have molasses, you really need to pick some up for this recipe to really bring out that gingerbread flavor. Next, we're adding 4 1/2 to 5 cups of all-purpose flour, depending on how sticky that dough gets after kneading. We're also adding in 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1 teaspoon ginger, and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg to really bring out that gingerbread flavor. You're going to knead for about 5 minutes until it's no longer sticky, adding in that 1/2 cup of flour as needed, and then oil a bowl or oil the dough itself and allow it to rise for 1 to 2 hours. It needs to rise to about double its size. Next, you're going to roll out the dough to a 1/2 inch thickness and cut into a rectangle. You're going to butter it with 1/2 cup of butter and then create a mixture with 1 1/4 cups brown sugar, 2 1/2 tablespoons ground cinnamon, 2 tablespoons cornstarch, 1/2 teaspoon ginger, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. Just press that all onto the rectangle and then roll into a log. You're then going to cut it every 2 inches along the log and then set those cut pieces into your pans. Cover and allow to rise again for 1 to 2 hours until doubled, and then you can bake it at 350 degrees for 17 minutes or until the tops begin to brown. In the meantime, you're going to make your cream cheese drizzle if you're going to use that. I use 4 ounces or 1/2 a brick of cream cheese, 1/2 a cup of softened butter, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1 tablespoon maple syrup, and 2 1/2 cups of powdered sugar as needed. So you're going to add the powdered sugar based on the consistency you want. If you want it to be a little thicker, you're going to add more. If you want it to be really drizzly, you're going to add less. So depending on how you want the cinnamon buns and the frosting to be, if you want the frosting to absorb into the cinnamon buns, add them right away while the cinnamon buns are still warm. If you want it to serve as a frosting and not melt into the cinnamon buns, allow the cinnamon buns to cool completely. This gingerbread cinnamon bun recipe is perfect for a Christmas brunch. It is such a treat, this perfect mashup of gingerbread cookie and cinnamon bun. I hope that your family loves this recipe as much as my family does. And if you like our recipes, crafts, and travel, be sure to subscribe to our channel.